As I said, I've been in this game since 2010. So mining actually continuously up until actually I sold off my last mining equipment this year. For the past 6-7 years, full time, doing the evils of making the market, one of those horrible high frequency trading people we all love to hate, basically out trying to steal your stats. But what we do, and some of the stuff that we get involved in, is about trying to broaden the conversation on Bitcoin, okay? Because we have mantras, Bitcoin good, fiat bad. And in general, I think that's true. But it's not also true. It's not all true, because if we just start criticizing the fiat system, which is horrendous, okay, we also throw out the simple fact that since the fiat system came into being, okay, we have had the greatest increase in human productivity, the greatest increase in human wealth, the greatest technological evolutions, the greatest increase in human health and life. And these things are interlinked. So, but there's also negatives. We have obviously wars and so on and so on. And the reason to present this kind of thing is to go, what is Bitcoin? Because you're going to hear a lot of people say, and they're not wrong, Bitcoin's digital gold, it's a medium of exchange, it's a unit of account. Okay, and I go, no, Bitcoin is political, okay? And if you look at the roots of Bitcoin, which is, as somebody rightly said earlier, it's a part of a cypherpunk project that started in the mid-70s. And its politics is very simple. Bitcoin gives you the right to own, yes, irrefutably. You own the keys, you own the Bitcoin. It is a fundamental point, and it gives you the right to transact. That's what Bitcoin is. It's actually quite simple. All the technology is a necessary evil to deliver these functions. Okay, there's probably no other asset where you can actually say that. You can't, your car, your government can take your property. Okay, for Bitcoin and that, it is literally you must give it up. So the government can come to me and say, give me your Bitcoin. I must voluntarily send it to them. They can take my bank account, at the stroke of a key. So when I say Bitcoin is political, it is literally about your personal liberty. But it's by consensus. And this is one of the things, again, that we tend to forget. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. Are you so sure? Because the last line says if consensus changes, now I don't think that's going to happen. But again, when we talk about this stuff, we have to have a level of subtlety and honesty and go, yes, while the consensus remains that we, the users of the network, agree there will be 21 million Bitcoin, there will be. But in 50 years, who knows? So again, just to frame the whole thing about Bitcoin is to understand that it is about achieving personal liberty wrapped in technology in a consensus mechanism, and consensus can and does change. Otherwise, Bitcoin would be exactly the same as it was in 2009 when it turned on. Well, we've done BIPs, we've added taproot, we've got ordinals, we've got BRC20s, whatever they're called, yeah? Because we, the community, agree to do that. Now, I personally think the probability, just to be clear, of there ever being more than 21 million Bitcoins is fucking tiny, okay? But we need to be more honest. This liberty, this freedom, we call it freedom money, is political and it is with history, because liberty, personal liberty, is new. You go back 2,000 years, you don't have personal liberty. You go back 1,000 years, we begin to document liberty. So you go back, and what liberty is, it's an agreement on the limitations of the rights of the individual. That's a really interesting thing. So it goes, I, Sean, cannot murder you, yeah? So there's a limitation on my liberty to murder you. Obviously, I don't want to murder you, not picking on you. You're just there, okay? And this world exists in this conflict, or this continuing evolvement of the agreement between the group, the elite, the democracy, and what rights we as individuals may have. And it gets documented. We have, back to 1100, Charter of Liberties, Magna Carta, probably one of the most foundational documents, which is literally means the Great Charter of Freedoms. Yes, what is we as individuals free to do? What liberties do we have? You go all the way down, Bill of Rights, obviously, UK, eventually the US caught up in 1791, and then the world went digital. And somebody mentioned this, and again, I think it's something in Bitcoin we don't understand enough. Probably everybody's looked at the white paper. Probably some people read it. Maybe some people understood it. Okay, I would recommend 1993 Cypherpunk Manifesto. It's a foundational document of Bitcoin. It's just an email. It's not like 20 pages. And what it outlines is why we need these liberties and how we are to achieve them. The most used word is private. That's really interesting because I do think we're under attack. And then out of the cypherpunk movement, we get Bitcoin, this wonderful thing, this beautiful, precious thing. I thought this was an original thought. I was going, how am I going to term Bitcoin? What is it in terms of it being something identical, digital gold? I go, no. To me, Bitcoin is the digital Second Amendment. For those who don't know, the Second Amendment in the US is the right to bear arms. Yeah? And it's complicated. Yeah? With this liberty comes difficult moral challenges. Yeah? We can all look at the horrific school shootings that go and go, well, maybe not everybody should have the right to bear arms. Okay? It's complicated. You come to Bitcoin, how can that be the same? And I'll give you, this is a horrible example, but I'm going to give it. Yeah? I'm not talking about a gun dealer buying guns with Bitcoin. Okay? Child pornography exists on-chain. Yeah? It just does. Okay? Immutable, you're out there forever. Okay? Anybody who runs a node is hosting that in their home. Okay? This is real. So these freedoms come with difficult and contentious moral things. And like everybody knows child pornography is just heinous and wrong. Okay? Everybody who runs a node has it. Okay? And this is a vector of attack. So do we become moral arbiters? And here's the problem with this. We go, well, no, obviously that's wrong. We need to remove that. Yeah, that shouldn't be there. But it is. And then all of a sudden we're going to go, well, is our immutability real if we start removing this stuff? So it is a complicated thing. Again, Bitcoin good, yes, but it's more nuanced than we tend to admit. Yeah, there are things about the network that are morally challenging and contentious. And as Bitcoiners, we need to just face that. Yeah, no point going, it doesn't happen. Well, no, it does. Absolutely it does. By the way, I can get you into, if you want a real attack on Bitcoin, okay, anybody running a node is breaking the law. They just are. Yeah, so again, there are costs to our freedom. However, okay, and I think this is it. So people talk about price all the time, and I'm not interested in what price does this week, next week. As a market maker, I'm interested in what it does the next millisecond. We do tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of trades a day, okay? So as a market participant, you can probably, you'll probably be aware of the gray chart. I've taken that and said, look, a better context of price is to look at the 200-week moving average. If you're ever thinking about the price of Bitcoin, and it's scary, it's volatile, up and down. If you look at the average over 4 years, so 4-year moving average, okay, you'll notice one thing. It's never, ever gone down. Every single week is up, okay? That's the way to look at this stuff. However, the value is based on the principles, okay? Right to own, right to transact. That's the real value of Bitcoin, yeah, not the price. The price can go up and down, but fundamentally, market participants like me and other people are going to be pushing price left, right, and center, but the fundamental value proposition of Bitcoin, and the market decided this is worth something, okay? The problem and the dangers that I see is that we're undermining these fundamental principles, this thing that gave it value. Yeah? So first, I would say that the ETFs and the institutions have turned Bitcoin into a shitcoin. Okay? They just have. What do we hate about shitcoins? They're centralized, they have no utility, and you can't do anything with them. Well, try owning a share in the BlackRock ETF. Yeah? You can't transact, you can't own, you have no right to ownership, and it's centralized. These positives for price in the near term, but we need to question, are we really cheerleading a move that in the long run may be problematic to us? Bitcoin is no longer anonymous. If you think that you have buried out under your oak tree a ledger, okay, with some Bitcoin on it, I do, by the way, a ledger with some Bitcoin on it, okay, and you think they don't know you own it, you're fucking naive, okay? Look what's happened. They have wrapped the whole system. You've probably heard of Operation Choke Point, yeah? Okay. They've wrapped the whole system where the only way in is KYC, yeah? We're not anonymous, we are not private, and again, I refer you to the Cypherpunk Manual and realize that these fundamental and guiding principles of Bitcoin are being diminished while a lot of us cheerlead because the price is going up. I'm going, maybe the price is going up, but should we question if the value is going down? And we need to think, this is a nuanced, it's a difficult thing, it's not all good. How do we save Bitcoin? Well, does Bitcoin need saving is a fair point. I would also say as freedom money, BlackRock and MicroStrategy have as much right to own it as we do. You either believe in the freedom principles or you don't. However, I would say that anything, when you come to this, it should be very nuanced. Anything that happens to Bitcoin, you should view as an attack vector, yeah? Until proven otherwise. Taproot as well. 5, 6 years ago, all of a sudden there's monkey pictures on the chain. Who saw that coming? Yeah? The ETFs, good for price. Are they really? In what time frame? So everything that happens to Bitcoin, this precious thing that we have, should be viewed as an attack vector. And where we're really going to die, and I think where the next blockchain war is coming from, is about privacy. Because here's the problem. We have a right to be anonymous, okay? Anonymous just means that I can choose to be private in a transaction. Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It is the foundational view of the cypherpunk movement. And we are going to see privacy solutions implemented, and that is going to be fought so hard by these institutions we cheerlead. The BlackRocks, the Fidelities, the MicroStrategies. When we go, no, fuck you. I want to be able to transact and you not know. In the same way I can go into a shop, hand over a tenner and buy a pack of cigarettes. Well, that's old, 15, 15, whatever, okay? This right to privacy. And this war is coming in Bitcoin, yeah? And you kind of need to pick your side here. You need to think this through. As I said, it's all nuanced. Nothing is ever all good or all bad. What I would say, as a Bitcoiner, again, a long-time Bitcoiner, like, my net worth is probably 99% Bitcoin. I would not recommend that to anybody, okay? But view it as an insurance policy. Yeah, literally view it as an insurance policy. It is like the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment isn't about the population overthrowing the government. It's not. Yeah? Second Amendment says that because the population is armed, the government are less likely to be assholes. Yeah, it's literally this tension, yeah? Okay. That's how I view Bitcoin. A population armed with Bitcoin, okay, can act as a restraint and a balance to the stupid excesses of the fiat system. And that's what I would say about Bitcoin. I can be perfectly honest with you, I don't want to live in a world on the Bitcoin standard. I don't think you've thought it through. You think Mad Max is dystopian? You know, a world without the dollar is not a good world, in my view. The other points that I would make are simply that Bitcoin all summed up is a wonderful thing. It's a great thing. It's a tool for freedom. It comes with costs. It is always under attack. This latest attack by the US government, of which the ETFs is part, that is the most sophisticated. It is trying to take away our liberty. Okay? That choke point, everything everything that's going on around space, and we have a multi-tier Bitcoin system. We have people who own Bitcoin exposure of ETF shares in wild Bitcoin. You know, what I call wild Bitcoin, the Bitcoin out in, you know, we all own, hopefully, or if you don't, get a little bit. Okay, we have fresh Bitcoin, has a different value. Newly minted coins have a different value. Mixed coins, try use them, yeah? This is literally, if you, as an active market participant, if I send mixed coins to an exchange, I'm told to fuck off, yeah? Literally. This is the world that we're facing, where these attacks on our principles, okay, are happening while they're injecting us with fiat to make us feel good. And I'm not negative on the future of Bitcoin. As I said, I go back to the chart. Every single week is up. Every single week on the 200-week moving average is up. But we should be more honest, more nuanced, and more protective of the asset. We need to think this stuff through and go, is this really good? Is this, is this stuff, because there's so many unintended consequences of what happened out in Bitcoin land. Now, anybody want to throw
questions?
Something at me?
Questions? Any questions there from anybody? Okay, we have one down here. Good stuff. That was interesting, interesting. And Sean knows his stuff. He's been in here a long time.
Too long.
Hi, Sean.
Hi.
How decentralized is Bitcoin system today when top 2 mining companies are running 40 to 45% of the total hash rate of the system, and top 5 companies are running 70 to 75% of the total hash rate?
Yeah, I mean, I personally don't, as a long-time miner, again, I go back to running a Dell Omniplex PC in my shed, okay, was when I started mining. I'm not concerned about mining and 51% attacks. I think there's probably an interesting dynamic happening. I think we are seeing nation-state mining, okay? But I don't think we're seeing it because they want to accumulate Bitcoin. I think we're seeing it because they want to protect their right to transact. So if you're a miner in the US, your blocks must be OFAC compliant. I can send you a list of addresses that says you cannot mint a block using these addresses, okay? So I think particularly after the world sees Russian assets, we've seen Russia. I don't believe that Russia is actively planning to use Bitcoin. I do believe they're nation-state mining. I do think they're keeping their optionality. And I don't think it's about, you cannot accumulate much Bitcoin anymore mining, yeah? But what you can do if you mine, you can protect your right to transact. And I, strangely enough, believe that if we get enough nation states mining, okay, all that we need is them to compete, yeah, to be active competitors, okay? I think commercial mining, it's just horrible. It is like the nastiest business ever. Okay? Always looks great because price goes up afterwards, but to be honest, 12, 14 years of mining, I would have just been better just buying Bitcoin. That's the truth of it. So I'm not concerned about I mean, I have many concerns, and a friend of mine describes owning Bitcoin as carrying a weight. And I went, he's right, because it makes you think about the world differently. It's and that's good. I mean, while I click baity and say we're losing, I think we can lose. But like standing here 14 years on for me, looking at all you folks, and going, of course we're winning. Absolutely we're winning, yeah? But we can lose it. Absolutely lose it. But mining is not my concern. I think we will see competition in mining, not to generate Bitcoin, but to protect the right to transact. I really don't see, because what's happening in the US mining with this OFAC compliance is just, again, I go back to fundamental right to transact. Bitcoin should guarantee that to us, and it is under attack.
Okay, any other more questions there? I'd like to ask you a question, Sean. There's a lot of people there that be talking about all these other new decentralized coins that are coming out. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. Like there's something like Monero, there's some other stuff that people talk to me about today. Decentralized. Okay. Are they really decentralized?
Look, the funny thing for me over the years is that as Bitcoiners, we always encourage altcoins. They were tests, they were experiments. Yeah, we'd go, look, we can't risk implementing privacy on Bitcoin, so let's run Monero and see what happens. It's a test bed. And Monero, I think you find most OG Bitcoiners have a huge soft spot for Monero because it's private, okay? But what it actually proved is the market doesn't value privacy. Otherwise, Monero would be 70,000. That's an unfortunate truth. So all of these altcoins, they're not really decent. I mean, my view of decentralization is probably a bit different. Yeah, we proof of work, mining, all of that, you know, but actually you come down to pressure points. You come down to, is there an individual? So Monero, for the example, Fluffy Pony, okay, runs it. Fluffy can be got to. Yeah. And I'm not saying he would, but the point is, if you want to attack Satoshi or somebody in influence in Bitcoin, no. I don't think there's another crypto, to use that horrible word, that is decentralized from the top all the way down to the bottom. I'm a Bitcoiner only. I don't criticize shitcoiners. Again, it would be stupid of me when somebody goes, oh, I sold a Bitcoin to buy ETH. You know, oh, it's freedom money. Good luck to you. Oh, you're wrong. Oh, I'm not going to jump on them. I either believe in their freedom to do this or I don't. Yeah, but I don't do it. But like all Bitcoiners, of course I have some shitcoins. Yeah, we all do. If we're honest. Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Right. Yeah. Put a hand there together for Sean.